I'm Will Englund. I'm an editor on the foreign desk here at the Post. And when I heard the news that the British thought a Russian nerve agent called Novichok had been involved in the attack on the former spy living in Britain.
Attempted murder with the administering of a nerve agent, that the two people, Sergei and Yuri Skripal, were intentionally targeted.
It took me back more than 25 years to a day in Moscow in 1992 when two Russian scientists walked into my office with a story to tell. I was working then for the Baltimore Sun, and these scientists had been working for several years on Russia's very, very secret chemical weapons program. One of them, Vilmir Zyanov, worked at a state chemical institute. But because the Cold War was over, and because Russia had renounced chemical weapons, he had grown outraged that this secret scientific development was still going on, and he wanted to go public with it. I have to confess that I was very skeptical, but in consultation with my editor, we decided to go with a story saying, at the very least, these scientists were making this claim, a new binary nerve agent that they said was 10 times more powerful than VX, the standard American nerve agent, had been successfully developed. I kept digging and found more scientists who were willing to talk about it. And about a month later, and it was in the second story that I was able to say the name of this binary agent was Novichok, or newcomer in Russian. It's a binary nerve agent. It's not a gas. It's powders that combine to become poisonous. And like other nerve agents, it can be absorbed through the skin or through the lungs. You can breathe it in. And it interferes with the nervous system in a catastrophic way, causing paralysis. We have this image of gas warfare going back to World War I, of these clouds of chlorine gas or mustard gas, which cause physical harm to the lungs or to the skin. These nerve agents work in a very different way. They're actually quite similar to pesticides. I did interview one scientist who had been exposed to a very minute amount of it. He told me he staggered out of the lab and his vision was seared with these bright lights and he began hallucinating. And doctors there were able to save his life, but his health was never the same afterwards. The thing that's so striking about what has allegedly happened in Great Britain is that, let's say the Kremlin, or let's say some criminal organization or some other group in Russia wanted to kill Sergei Skripal. A handgun would do the job very well. Using a chemical weapon like this is sending a message to Russians who might be tempted to become turncoats, as they argue Skripal did. Might be also trying to send a message to the British government. We can do what we want even on your territory. It's a little bit of it's a major humiliation for the British government for something as outrageous as this to be happening on their territory.
They have treated the use of a military-grade nerve agent in Europe with sarcasm, contempt, and defiance. So, Mr. Speaker, there is no alternative conclusion other than that the Russian state was culpable for the attempted murder of Mr. Skripal and his daughter.